Okay, example 1, where we have to find the different measures of central tendency for this data set. I have the numbers 3, 9, 5, 13, 7, 8, and 11. So the very first thing it asks us to find is the mean. To find the mean, we have to add all the numbers in our data set together. So to find the mean, I would take 3 plus 9 plus 5 plus 13 plus 7 plus 8 plus 11. And that would equal, and this is where I don't want that quite yet. This is why I will let you guys use a calculator. So I'm going to my calculator. I'm going to say 3 plus 9 plus 5 plus 13 plus 7 plus 8 plus 11, and I get 56 as my sum of all those numbers. To find the mean is simply not found by just adding the numbers together. To find the mean, we have to add all of the numbers together and then divide by how many numbers there are in our data set. So if I go back up here, how many numbers are in my data set? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 numbers in my data set, so I'm going to divide this by 7, and 56 divided by 7 gives me the answer of 8. So the average number in this data set would be 8. The mean would be 8. To find the mode, before we do that, the mean I usually find first by adding all the numbers together. Before I do anything next, my next step is usually to find the median, and we do that by finding the number in the middle. But the most important part about finding the number in the middle is that we order our numbers from least to greatest. So if I go up here, I have a 3 is my smallest, followed by a 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, then an 11 and a 13. Oh, and sorry, and I also have a 9. Glad I caught that. 9, 11, 13. So for my median, I need to find the number in the middle. I start by going one space from each side of my data set and moving closer to the middle. So I have a 3, I have a 13. I have a 5, I have 11, I have a 7, I have a 9. What number is in my middle? That's an 8. So my median is an 8. To find my mode is the number that appears the most often. M-O-D-E is the number with the highest frequency. If I notice here, I have all my numbers only appearing once. Since I don't have any numbers that repeat, I would say that this data set has no mode. The range is when you take the greatest number and you subtract it from the smallest number. So to find my range, I would say range equals, well, what's my greatest number? 13. What's my smallest number? 3. So 13 minus 3 is 10. Okay, my upper quartiles and lower quartiles usually sound hard. They're not, guys. It's just the middle number of the big numbers and the middle number of my small numbers. So if I look up here, 8 was my median. That divides my data set into numbers that are smaller than 8 and numbers that are greater than 8. So I'm kind of looking at this as my halfway point, so I ignore the 8. That's my halfway point. My upper quartile is a number that's in the middle of the numbers greater than 8. So just like I found the median, I start on the left side, cross one number out, go to the right side, cross one number out. Whatever number I have left in the middle is my upper quartile, so my upper quartile is 11. To find my lower quartile, I'll do the same thing, but on the numbers smaller than my median, and my lower quartile would be 5. Last part about this, is there an outlier? Is there any numbers, or are there any numbers in my data set? If we look at my data set, that stick out, that are just way bigger or way smaller. And by way bigger or way smaller, I mean really stand out. And here, no, I mean 13's kind of bigger than 8 and 7, but there's not a huge gap between that and the number next to it. So here, no, there is no outlier. So we're done there. We don't have to answer what is the outlier. So there is your first example over mean, median, mode. If you have any questions, contact me and watch this video again. Thank you guys, and watch the next video too for another example.